how would you retract without having it go straight for your face?
Yeah, I would retract like this.
I'm Gemma and Nguyen. I'm a 7-time world champion in sport karate. I'm also a stunt woman and action actress.
I'm Jeremy Marinas.
I'm a lifelong martial artist.
I've been doing stunts for the last 16 years.
Today, we are going to be reacting to Guilty Gear Strive. Oh, Sol Badguy.
You know,
Oh, it's like anime style. What are those guns or swords?
that's crazy. In the art of Iaido, there's a lot of certain ways to resheath a sword and how to draw it, because a lot of people think you just grab the sword and pull it out. There's a technique where you have to pull your hip back for that to work, and same thing when you sheath your sword. You don't just kind of blindly stick it in there. You kind of go from the handle of the blade and you pull it out and you kind of control it with your fingers to feed it into the hole. And if you practice a lot, you can sheath it pretty fast. It's super sick. It kind of reminds me of the old like Marvel vs. Capcom, like the effects or the visuals. Why would you kick somebody with a sword?
Why would you block? Why wouldn't you just cut the leg off?
If you're taking time to kick, my sword is usually on guard here, whether I'm fencing, using a katana,
You're
whatever.
center line.
I'm on center line, so if you're kicking, you could block with a sword, but remember, you're putting steel between you and a hit, so if your sword doesn't cleanly cut off that leg, the leg is still gonna push the sword into your face.
Oh my God, was that a dolphin? Oh, you see the sliding, what was that?
Little body slide.
Yeah. Did she just grow an afro? What? What is happening?
I think she took her hat off.
Oh,
Wow, she's kind of Aquaman.
she's using an anchor?
Yeah, she
And a
has
dolphin?
something to do with the sea. In Capoeira, sometimes they'll do a hand plant, kind of like a double back kick. They do a lot of hand plant kicks. It's just not as popular to do a double kick, because now you're committing 2 feet, which you want to use for balance, to a hit, and you're relying on your wrist for all your balance. So it's not super common, but it is.
Oh, butterfly?
So in here it looks like,
That's like a whip chain reaper.
yeah, it's got 2
Commas?
commas on the sides of the chain.
Yeah.
And the version I used as a kid was they were kind of independent of each other. Axel's weapon is more like a full-on whip chain, the length of a whip chain with 2 sickles at the end. The sickles are called kamas from Japanese martial arts. But I've performed with the single ones. I've never used the long chain with the kamas before. That's kind of cool.
How would you retract without having it go straight for your face?
Yeah, I would retract like this.
Oh, arm flailing inflatable tube man.
The creepy thin man. Moves very awkwardly. I would go for the ankles and take him down, and I would use jiu-jitsu to pin him and try to break anything I can grab.
Look at the neck though, I'd probably
Yeah.
go for the neck. It's like the most forward thing on him because he's hunched over.
Clearly not a human. He's so unpredictable that I probably wouldn't just fight him standing up. I would try to get to his back and not let him use his long weapon.
Did he just use a wheelchair on that guy? Kalmanchoka. It is creative.
It is
I will
creative as hell.
say. Like, I think that they just used the cape as a strike, and hair and wings. Sometimes I hit myself with my hair. Oh. The character design is like super cool.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. His handles for his swords are kind of like shield handles, so he can just kind of fight like that and not worry about his wrist turning. But there's a lot of weight in the front. But sometimes it's forward and then sometimes it's backward. It makes no sense. Double swords is not usually a practical thing you see in many martial arts, but that's more for performance. I don't know that you would use them.
Yeah, in competition you see a lot of the double sword, but
Yeah.
in a fight,
The two swords I would use if I was gonna use two swords would be probably two machetes.
I just used two butcher knives.
Yeah.
Very Stephen Chow.
Oh, there's a katana.
Anatomy.
Like a straight up regular katana. And his face changes. There you go. And actually on the up slash, if you caught it, that was very traditional to do like an upward slash while holding his saya so he can resheath really fast. That was a good front kick.
Yeah.
It was a straight line.
Straight lines are important because, especially in competition, it sets you apart from like bad technique versus good technique.
If you throw it straight, it's harder to see, but also my structure is perfect from my wrist to my elbow to my shoulder, and that's the only way to do real damage in a fight.
Has the most impact. Yeah.
Yeah, super legit. Yeah, this is probably the most realistic character to a style in this video game. It's a demon dog.
Oh, it is.
It is a demon dog, look at him.
Cool. I like that little kick combo.
These characters are all super sick, and it's awesome when you're just enjoying watching it.
Oh, that was
A
dope.
little bit of lucha libre in there.
Spans are a real weapon. I believe they traditionally Chinese, right?
Yeah, a lot of kung
Like
fu.
Kung Fu, Wushu, Shaolin.
He did a couple of finger twirls in there that aren't very practical.
What, you mean like turn the fans into butterflies? Dude, they're a wrist killer because
Yeah.
you open those things enough and then, close them enough, your wrist is just so tired at the end of the day. I wouldn't use a fan in a fight.
A guitar would probably make a good weapon for one or two strikes.
Yeah, you can really only just swing it, and then once you do that a
Yeah.
couple times, if your opponent's any decent, they'll see it coming from a mile away.
It wouldn't be a good weapon, but it would be a good impact.
Maybe if you're a really
Instruments.
bad guitar player. The weirdest weapon I had to use, and you know this, is on Everything Everywhere All at Once. I doubled Joy/Jobu on that, and I had to use a giant as nunchucks. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've used any weird weapons in movies.
It's not even just a regular coffin, it's a coffin with a chain on it.
Yeah, see, I would use every hard edge of the coffin, assuming the coffin is laying down. I wouldn't just slam
Is
their
there
head.
body in it?
Well, no, you're gonna put the body in it, but instead of slamming their head on the flat surface, I would open it and use the edge of the walls to break their neck and then put them in the coffin.
Huh. Dude, see the chain on the coffin?
How big do you have to be to wield a coffin
I know.
as a weapon?
Oh, yo-yo. Oh, dang, she's walking the dog. She's OP, dude. Oh, around the world.
It's so awesome.
I know. Oh, she just used a booty bump. I like her. Oh, shoot, look at her. There's a teddy bear came out of nowhere.
It was a myth, like back in the days, that the Philippines would use yo-yos for hunting as weapons. I think it's another one of those, hit them once, and then if you can strangle them with a string, yeah, in the right wielder's hands, a yo-yo could be a good weapon.
Yeah, God forbid that gets tangled up once. You're gonna sit in there like
Yeah.
doing this.
I would-
Every time you have to set it back up again.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a badass pose.
Hey, he's a gentleman.
Oh, he's a vampire.
I have fought in a three-piece suit against John Wick. I lost every time. Actually, three-piece suits are very comfortable to fight in, especially if you don't care about ripping them.
Clothes do not play a factor because when you're mocapping, you're in a mocap suit. It's those suits you see with all the little reflective balls all over, and they basically capture your movement, and then they basically just design a character and whatever clothes they want onto your movement.
Something they have been doing a lot, though, is mocapping in movies on location, because they have like newer mocap suits are just hard plastic sensors. A lot of times they'll do it under your wardrobe too. If they just want to use the live action stuff, they'll just replace the face.
So it looks like they're doing a lot of terrain changes, and obviously it's an anime fight, so it doesn't affect them, but in real life it would make a big difference. For example, if you're fighting in sand, if you ever tried running in sand, you can kind of get an idea of what that's like. It requires a lot more energy. If it's sand, for example, I would be able to use sand as like an environmental element. Throw it in their face. I feel like it happens a lot in Kung Fu films. So for example, right now they're on like a rocky terrain. You wouldn't just be able to do like everything smooth-footed, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to watch out for where you're stepping and where you're landing. So like, it's not affecting them at all. But they're flying through the air and stuff, so. I'm Gemma Nguyen. You can find me on my socials at Gemma Store on Instagram and at Gemma Nugget on TikTok.
I'm Jeremy Marinas, and you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Germ Skills with a Z.
Till next time.
Thanks for watching.